Up to now, we've heard about the responsibilities and managing expectations. In this session, we're going to get a feel for what you need to do to set up a coaching session. By the end of this session, you'll be able to explain how to ensure that a coaching session is set up for maximum effectiveness, and explain the preparation needed for a coaching session, and evaluate optimal coaching states for the coach. Let's start by thinking about what preparation and planning you will want to do, and then in the rest of this session we're going to look at each one in more depth. Firstly, there is getting commitment for the coaching. This may be from the client, or it may be from his or her manager, or the organisation as a whole. Next, there is the whole process of contracting and how much you will want to do. Then there is the environment in which the coaching takes place. And then is the preparation for the client and the preparation for the coach. There are often two ways in which coaching is approached and used as an intervention. Firstly, there is demand-driven coaching, and then secondly, remedial-driven coaching. What would you suppose is the difference between the two? Demand-driven coaching is normally requested by the client themselves. This is because they would like to have the support and help of coaching to help them progress and move forward. Sometimes organisations will request demand-driven coaching because they would like to support their high performers in doing even better. In these cases, coaching is seen as a method of developing further team members with talent and potential. Remedial-driven coaching is often the result of coaching suggested by someone other than the client. It's often seen as a tool to handle problems with a team member, particularly performance issues. Typical situations would be where they're not achieving their targets, or there's a conflict going on, or someone has been accused of bullying or harassment. In these situations, if not handled well by the organisation or coach, it can lead to people turning up to coaching on sufferance or with a feeling that coaching is a punishment. So as a coach, it's important to fully recognise what is driving the coaching so that you can do whatever it will take to have a client who is committed to, and even better, looking forward to the coaching sessions. Next, we have an exercise, and before doing it, you may like to read the section on coachee attributes. It's in Chapter 9, Factors Contributing to Effective Coaching, in a book called The Case for Coaching by Jarvis, Lane and Fillory Travis. So please write down how you will be able to set up coaching to ensure commitment, and who else needs to be involved to ensure commitment. And lastly, what would be the difference in ensuring commitment between demand-driven coaching and remedially driven coaching? Now we want to think about contracting. What things will you want to consider in contracting with your client? Well, first of all, you may want to think about how formal you want the contracting to be. A very formal, perhaps even written and signed contracting process is sometimes thought to be very important, as it is then part of a system and quality procedures and ensures that there's proof that both parties know what's going to happen. Other people and organisations prefer a less formal approach, with the idea that sometimes signing a formal agreement can break rapport between the client and the coach and may hinder the beginning part of the coaching relationship. This will depend on the situation, the organisation and the individuals involved. You will want to agree with your client about when and where the sessions are going to take place, how many sessions there will be, what the responsibilities are, what is the agreement about confidentiality, who else may be involved in the process, and what will happen in the sessions, what will be expected of the client, and how will the sessions be structured. Here is an exercise to get you thinking about the environment that you would want in order to get the most out of coaching. So, firstly, if you could write down, what will you want to consider in deciding the place where you will do the coaching? And secondly, what sort of environment will be conducive to a successful coaching session? So now let's go on to think about preparation for the person who's being coached. The more prepared the client is, the more committed they are, and the more value that they're likely to get from the sessions. And it's useful to think about how you can help the client prepare. What could you make available? Here are some suggestions. You can devise a pre-coaching questionnaire which takes the person through the process of what is working well at the moment, what is not going quite as well as they may like, and what areas would they appreciate having the help of a coach. It's very useful if the client has already identified goals that they're going to be working on and which ones coaching would be most useful for. The other preparation they may want to do is to get some feedback from other people about their performance, either informally through chatting to them or perhaps more formally through a 360-degree feedback exercise.